I start by quoting Emerson Ralph in his quote, "To be yourself in a world that is constantly trying to make you something else is the greatest accomplishment." Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel. Today we are talking about authenticity and how it affects our mental health. Joining me today is John Bosco. Welcome, John Bosco.
Thanks, Richard. It's great to be here. Authenticity is all about being true to yourself, your values, and your spirit, no matter what pressure you might feel to act differently. It's about being the same person inside and out. Authenticity isn't about perfection. It's about scars, the battle wounds that tell stories. It's saying, yes, I've stumbled. Yes, I've wept. But here I stand, unapologetically me.
John Bosco, let's start with a common issue many people face. Why do you think so many of us end up being clones of someone else, trying to live a version of another person's life?
That's a fantastic question, Richard. You see, humans are inherently social creatures. We thrive on connections and often lean on each other. This can sometimes push us to mimic others just to fit in, stay included, or feel accepted. Movies, social media, and even our close friends and family can create this immense pressure to conform. It's like we're all trying to be actors in someone else's movie.
And what kind of mess do we get into by being someone else's clone?
The mess is real. Trying to be someone else can lead to a whole heap of problems. It creates stress and anxiety because you're constantly trying to meet expectations that aren't even yours. This can lead to a lack of self-acceptance, low self-esteem, and even mental health issues like depression. It's like running a marathon in someone else's shoes, exhausting and painful. Plus, it disconnects you from your true self and from others.
You know, this takes me back to our high school days in 2014. Remember that big school project where everyone was trying so hard to impress with flashy presentations?
Wow, I remember that. Everyone was so obsessed with being perfect that they completely missed the point of the project. It was like a circus.
Exactly. But there was this one group led by our friend Sarah, who just presented their project simply and honestly. It was real and it connected with everyone. No smoke and mirrors, just pure authenticity.
Yeah, they ended up getting the highest marks because their presentation was genuine. That was a powerful lesson in being true to oneself. Who knew honesty could be so rewarding?
Let's talk about what authenticity looks like in our personal lives. For me, being authentic has helped me build deeper relationships based on trust and respect.
Absolutely. It also helps with mental well-being. When we're authentic, we don't stress about meeting others' expectations. It helps us accept ourselves and builds our confidence.
So, John Bosco, how do you think authenticity impacts our relationships?
When you're true to yourself, you attract people who appreciate you for who you are. This leads to more meaningful and fulfilling connections because they're based on trust and respect.
That's so true. When people feel free to share their true ideas, they are more likely to come up with new and creative solutions. What about mental well-being, John Bosco? How does being authentic help there?
Being authentic reduces the stress and anxiety that come from trying to fit in. It helps us accept ourselves and boosts our confidence, which is great for mental health.
So how can we become more authentic?
To start living more authentically, it's essential to become aware of how you actively meet your authentic self, and then begin to grow a deeper self-awareness and courage. For example, be aware of what you're suppressing and why. Is there a part of you that you are not honoring? Interests or passions you are neglecting? True thoughts or feelings you are hiding? What excuses are you using for denying these parts of yourself? What can you do to start embracing more of your true self? Be aware of what you're projecting and why. Are there mannerisms you are projecting that feel unnatural to you? Are there beliefs you have adopted solely because your group shares them? Are you trying to project a certain identity at work or elsewhere that doesn't quite feel like you? Are you a part of something you don't completely agree with? Can you begin to let go of those things that aren't authentically you? Get in touch with your core values. What is truly important to you? Family, autonomy, health, truth, nature, personal growth, kindness, etc. Don't think about what anyone else might say or what's popular. Spend some time getting in touch with your values. Are you living in alignment with these values or against them? Practice honesty in all your interactions. It takes courage to be honest and express yourself authentically, but the more you practice it, the easier it becomes. Start by speaking your mind when you might typically remain silent, and invite others to do the same. Being transparent builds trust. Also, don't be afraid to show your true emotions and admit when you're wrong. Imagine a window without curtains. Transparency is that window. It lets light flood in, illuminating shadows. When you're transparent, fear has no corners to hide. This openness connects us with others.
I agree with that, and I would surely say, make sure your actions match your values.
That's very true. Being curious is another better way to build authenticity. Our interests and passions, especially those not shared by many others, can help guide us closer to our true selves. Rather than ignoring sharp pains of curiosity, follow them. See where they lead you. You might take up a hobby that provides an outlet for your unique creativity, or enter a profession much more suited to your true nature than the one you're currently a part of. In any case, the more we follow curiosity where it leads, the more authentic our lives can become. Authenticity might be difficult for some of us, especially in certain environments. But when we see past the immediate rewards of fitting in and instead begin to express more of our true selves, we create deeper, stronger connections, live more fulfilling lives, and be an example for others to do the same. Because this alignment of honest, being true to self, and matching actions with values is key to staying truly to self. Always speak your truth. When you're honest about your dreams, your fears, your failures, you disarm fear. The fear gets defeated. Also, ask for feedback from people you trust to make sure your actions are true to who you are.
We live in a world where social media often pushes us towards perfection, but more and more people prefer authenticity over perfection. Did you know that 90% of consumers prefer an authentic brand?
That's amazing. What I know is that an authentic brand is transparent, consistent, and genuine in its communication and behavior, which helps build trust and loyalty with its consumers. Something that's key in attracting consumers. As earlier said, authenticity connects with people on a deeper level. Sharing personal stories and genuine emotions builds a bond of trust. I have always shared my story that led to my passion for mental health. Having survived near drowning in a river as a consequence of mental health challenges at my third day was something that still fascinates me and makes want to make more impact in this field. This helps me get out of my skin and become vulnerable, but it also helps with connecting with my community. Authenticity eventually makes people feel better, knowing that others have their own struggles and differences.
I was reading some insights recently, and they mentioned how authenticity fosters deeper relationships and encourages personal growth. Can you share more about that?
Sure, Richard. When you're true to yourself, you build relationships based on trust and respect. Authenticity encourages us to take responsibility to oneself and other people we are relating with, to be clear about our needs, desires, and fears. Knowing and sharing what you want regarding relationships such as intimacy, time alone, support, independence, and financial security is part of building a relationship that's grounded in authenticity. It also encourages self-reflection and personal growth, as we try to get deeper to understand some of these core aspects that build relationships and create understanding, which helps us to start to understand ourselves better and eventually grow and learn from each other.
That's interesting. It seems like authenticity is really the foundation for a lot of positive outcomes in life. It helps us in our personal lives, at work, and even in our communities.
Exactly. And there are practical ways to cultivate authenticity. Being honest in all your interactions. Transparency builds trust. Don't be afraid to show your true emotions and admit when you're wrong. When you are wrong, admit it and make your amends. Rinse and repeat. This is not something we are taught in school. I am not even sure it can be taught explicitly, or if it has to be experienced to be learned. But I do know that learning to admit that I am wrong is the FISRT step to unlearn that wrong thing, or act. So, it's a lesson worth trying to learn, by any means possible. This openness can help us to connect with others and ensure your actions match your values. This alignment is key to staying true to yourself. Also, regularly seek feedback from trusted individuals to ensure that your actions and behaviors align with your authentic self.
What do you think is the impact of authenticity on society?
A society begins with an individual. When our thoughts and actions are aligned, we are free from the mental and emotional friction that comes from working against ourselves. We are also more likely to engage in behaviors that promote good mental health. A society or work culture where more people live true to their values rather than conform out of fear is more likely to allow people to discuss disparate viewpoints and solve real problems openly and intelligently, neutralizing the tendency toward groupthink. Authentic people serve as role models, encouraging others to live genuinely. This fosters a culture of honesty and transparency, building stronger, more cohesive communities.
So, there you have it. Authenticity is more than just a word to say without practice. It's a powerful tool for improving our mental health and overall well being.
Absolutely. I agree wholly with this.
Remember, being authentic is a more sustainable and healthier way to live. It aligns with our values and helps us lead fulfilling lives. Thanks for joining us today, John Bosco, and everyone who listened in to SouLife Chats.
You are most welcome, Richard. And thanks for always hosting me to talk about issues influencing our well-being. I would say that if you found this helpful, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And always, stay true to yourself. Authenticity is a love affair with truth. Be contagious. Be unbreakable. Be the kind of person others look up to and say, I want what they have. See you next time.